right, you guys, we are back with episode 5 of Two Ways with Erica Mena. Now, if you missed out on episode 4, make sure you click the hyperlink above and definitely go check that out so you can get caught up on what we're finna talk about today. Now, you know how Zeus does. They do like a mini little recap of what happened in the last episode before we get into episode 5. So let's go ahead and get into it. All right. How episode 4 ended off was Erica Mena ended up giving a love tap to Pied Piper. Pied Piper wasn't feeling it. He felt like she really disrespected him by Erica putting hands on him like that, regardless if it was a love tap of whatever you want to call it, or she was just play slapping him. He felt disrespected, and as he should be. But I felt like everybody in the whole house was gaslighting him to be like, boy, it wasn't like she punched you in the face. There's no reason why you should be blowing up the way you are. Like, did it hurt that bad? He was valid in feeling the way he was feeling, but they were gaslighting him, which made it even worse. So now he ends up crashing out. Security is trying to get him out of the house, but he don't want to leave until Erica starts screaming at him, and they're going back and forth. So it ended up being really chaotic for eliminations. Once they finally reset the environment for eliminations, Erica ends up rechaining the eggplant chain because Pied Piper got it. The new contestant who got the eggplant, Breaker, she ends up calling down Pussy Breaker to come get his chain, but on the way down, Master Cheeks is throwing a fit because why should Breaker get the eggplant chain? Like, he didn't participate in the challenge at all, so I feel like there was no reason for him to get it. And I totally agree. He literally watched Lips take over the challenge because for whatever reason he didn't want to participate. So I felt like, yeah, why would he get the eggplant chain? He didn't do anything. So Erica ends up telling Breaker to go sit down somewhere and pick your 4 for the solo date, because that was the prize. If you know, whoever Bambi chose for the what would you do with Erica's box with the fake pockets or whatever, whoever she felt like did the best would get the not solo date, but the group date with Erica, right? Closet Freak ends up whispering into Breaker's ear on who to choose. So he ends up choosing Golden Ticket, Pee-wee, Gangsta Bae, and Gypsy. So all of a sudden, Lips is in confessionals mad because she felt like her and Closet Freak were friends. So it was kind of a little awkward, or it was a little odd when she didn't get chosen to be on the group date with all of them. So it was kind of like, huh? I thought we was cool. What happened? All right. So next person to get their chain is Master Cheeks. Master Cheeks comes up, is about to get her chain. And Erica was like, you know, I feel like you have a lot more to get off your chest, and I want to hear your thoughts about it. So she ends up going into a spill about how she feels like Breaker shouldn't deserve to get the eggplant chain because, again, during the challenge with what would you do with Erica's box, right? He literally didn't do anything. So it was like, what was the point of giving him a chain if he didn't even participate in the game? Like, what's the point of the competition at this point? Like, what are we really going off of? Erica and Bambi hear Master Cheeks out, and they're like, you know what? Let's take a little pause for a minute and kind of rethink the situation with giving Breaker the eggplant chain. So they come back out and they're like, you know, Master Cheeks is right. Breaker didn't deserve that chain. I only gave Breaker that chain was because of him putting hands on Pied Piper in the mixer situation, right? That's the only reason why she did it. So they end up snatching the chain back from Breaker and end up giving the chain to Mr. Thang instead because they felt like he did more at the challenge. You know, he was one of the second best, I guess. So Mr. Thang comes down, gets his eggplant chain, and he ends up choosing the 4 additional contestants that'll be coming on the group date. He ends up picking Goldilocks, Breaker again, Umbrella, and Pee-wee. So they're coming on to the group date. Now we get to the last 2 of elimination. Last 2 standing is Migos and Lips, right? She ends up picking Migos for the chain. So as we all assume, since we end up having Lips left, she's going home. But she ends up getting saved from eliminations because Pied Piper ends up leaving the show and eliminating himself. Also, Trophy D ends up eliminating himself too. So, I mean, hey, she kind of lucked out. As the contestants are going back into the house, Lips ends up checking Closet Freak about her whispering into Breaker's ear about choosing for the group date. She's checking Closet Freak like, girl, you know, I thought we were friends. I thought we were cool. You know, you be coming by my room. Why would you tell Breaker to choose all them other people but me? I thought we were cool. In the midst of her calling out Closet Freak, she ends up calling out Mr. Thang as well, calling him fake because he didn't choose her to go on a group date. Lips trying to get it in with everybody. So she ends up wanting to catch the fade with Closet Freak instead because again, she genuinely thought that they were cool to some degree where she was gonna get chosen on that date because her friend Closet Freak was whispering into Breaker's ear, thinking that she was going to be a part of the group date, which she wasn't. So she ended up catching that fade with Closet Freak. And as soon as Closet Freak took them shoes off, it went down. Bitch, no! Bitch, no! No, 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 no! 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 I'm not allowing it! Wow. Lips and Closet Freak are getting it cracking. Erica Mena ends up jumping into the fight, trying to break them up. She gets upset again because it's like, what is going on? Why are you guys fighting? After the security breaks them two up, Lips confesses to Erica, like, I thought me and Closet Freak were friends. She's been coming by my room. We've been hanging out and chit-chatting and yada, yada, yada. And then Erica is looking at Lips sideways like, wait a minute, why are you even conversating with the competition? And even so, if you are conversating with them, why do you think you're friends with them? Like, this is a competition. You're here for me. So the fact that you're fighting Closet Freak because she didn't pick you to come on the group date is crazy to me. So Erica calls her out on it and basically just said what I said and added on that I see you're getting comfortable at this point because it doesn't make sense to me. Like, why? It's not that deep. You're here for me, not for anyone else in this house. And if you are interested on someone else, then you need to go. Elimination is over that night. We are heading into the next day. Okay. All right. Bambi is going around the house, hopping from click to click, telling people, get ready for your date. Make sure you pop out looking nice. Erica is not playing with you guys. You guys really need to get it together and really prove yourselves to her on why you're here and what can you actually bring to Erica's life that she doesn't have already. And she's trying to get tea on, other people in the house, who's messing with who. Does anyone have any boyfriends or girlfriends that they're talking to outside of what they're doing currently? So she's trying to be messy as well, get the tea and bring it back to Erica so they can figure out who they need to eliminate or who they need to call out on if you are messing with someone else or are you even talking to someone else outside of the house. Now it's time for the group date. Okay. They end up going into a winery and who we have on the group date is Mr. Thang, Goldilocks, Breaker, Pee-wee, Gorilla. So Erica ends up questioning Mr. Thang first in the group date, asking him questions in regards to, him being a virgin. How do you know if you really want to be with a woman if you've never been in a serious relationship with her? Mr. Thang comes at Erica and is like, I want love. I want you, Erica. Like, you should be happy that I haven't given my body away to just some floozy out here. You should be happy that I'm even, keeping all of that for you. But even though he's technically not a virgin because like he said, he's performed oral on a lot of women, but he hasn't penetrated them. So it's like, I don't know. Why would you even do one or the other? You might as well just go through it with both because technically you already kind of broke it, right? So I don't know. Again, it's hard to believe you're 27 and you never had sex before, right? It's odd to hear that nowadays, but whatever. Okay. Next, she moves to Goldilocks. She asks Goldilocks, what brings you here to fight for someone like me? Goldilocks is like, I feel like you're worth it, Erica. You're a beautiful person. I love your energy, and usually I don't go after women. The women come after me. So like, this is kind of out of the norm, and Erica's kind of like, yeah, you a little bit conceited and you might have to put in a little bit more since you're so used to the women coming after you, when in this case I want you to come after me. So yeah, step up. We move on to Gorilla. Now if you don't know Gorilla, aka Selena Powell, she's basically known for messing with well-known rappers and exposing them after she does it. And again, rappers, which are mainly men. So it's kind of like for Erica, it's like, what's making you want to get turned out all of a sudden to be with a woman, full time versus, being with a man? She feels like, maybe that's the reason why I need to go on the other side because I'm failing with the men in my life, So I feel like that's why I feel like this will be a good match for me. I am very intimidated by you. Don't get me wrong. You do scare me, but I think with me being like scared of you or intimidated, that intrigues me to want to know you more. So that's what we got from Gorilla. All right, so we're gonna move over to Pee Wee. Pee Wee is the youngest in the house, and for Erica, her concern was, I'm a mom, I have 2 kids. Well, I think 3, but anyways, I have kids. How can you handle someone like me who's more experienced in life, who has a little bit more going on than what you have going on? Like, how can you benefit me? And he's telling her, like, I'm really into older women. I prefer older women who have a lot more going on in their lives versus the younger girls. So I feel like that's up to my speed. I have been dealing with older women since I was about 19. The oldest I was dating was 33. So I feel like older women are more of my type. And then we get to, honestly, my favorites. I think he might be, depending on what type of guys you're into, I feel like he will be every woman's like ideal type of guy, because just look at him, rest in peace. But yeah, we get to Pussy Breaker. Erica is coming to him like, you do OnlyFans on the side for work, and then you're kind of wanting to make that like, your job, and then come deal with me. So I'm getting this different persona that I'm seeing online versus what I'm seeing in person. Like, it's not matching up. And he's like, that's the conception people get about me. They see something online that's not who I really am in person. Like, I'm really just a chill guy. I'm actually shy in real life. So like, maybe you got to get to know me more to really get to know me more. She's like, okay, I hear you. I hear all of you, So for the most part, now we're starting to get to know more of the contestants. She's going on dates. Right now, I can't really tell you on who she's really feeling or not feeling or not, because she hasn't gone on enough dates, enough solo dates to really ask those personal questions that the viewer and also Erica is looking for in these people. Because again, they're all still strangers living under this one roof, trying to fight over this, celebrity that we've been watching on TV for so long. We really don't know her behind closed doors, because you never know. Like she said, she thought Gregor was going to be this way because of what she saw on the internet, when in actuality, he's really a chill, cool, shy guy. So it's kind of like, So yeah. So the date ends up ending. I think it went pretty well for a group date, because it's like, how do you try to impress someone against other people? And I feel like in this case, it's basically kind of just like blocking them out and just honestly just focusing on her and just giving her, your best and honest answers that you would give if you guys were, the two of you were on a date together. So they end up getting back on the sprinter, going back into the house. I guess the wine might have trickled down, might have got in, and Selena starts to get a little promiscuous and ends up giving Goldilocks and Pee Wee a lap dance in front of Pussy Breaker and Mr. Thing. So you know what that means. Extra tea to talk about to Erica, because Selena, you is supposed to try to get turned out. Why are you being promiscuous with Goldilocks and Pee Wee? Okay. Let's keep going. So we move into the next scene. Erica Mena ends up going on her solo date with Closet Freak. I think it was really, really cute. I feel like the icebreaker of the date was Closet Freak bringing in like this card game that, you pull the card and it asks more like personal questions and you normally wouldn't talk about at a first date. I thought their date was pretty cute. I thought it went well. So good for them. After Erica Mena comes back from her group date and her solo date, she goes into the house and gets the other contestants that weren't able to go on the date, and they go outside by the pool. And Erica is like, okay, so, even though you guys didn't go on the date, I want to give you guys one question to ask me, and, just to get to know me more, because it's a lot of you guys in the house. It's kind of hard for me to give you guys all of my time. I'm going to try and do my best. So they ended up doing their little powwow in the circle, asking their one question to Erica on what they want to know more about her. But towards the end of the powwow, we end up getting some information, some intel that Migos has been a little friendly with Gorilla. And what made it even more noticeable about the situation was when it was Migos' turn to ask a question to Erica, her question was, how do you feel about being in a polyamorous relationship? Because, earlier in a few episodes, there was some chatter going around that Migos might still have a girlfriend at home. So that might mean she want Erica, her girlfriend, and her all to be together. But in this case, Cat Dog ends up calling it out because she saw that she's been giving her attention to Gorilla, and Master Cheeks ended up confirming it in the little powwow they had. Like, yeah, I mean, Cat Dog is right. Gorilla has been twerking and bending over, and you've been entertaining what Gorilla's been doing. So I'm not gonna lie about that. That's where we end the episode. More moving parts. I'm starting to like it. Yeah, it's been pretty good. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think of today's episode with Two Ways with Erica Mena. I'm liking it so far. I'm very entertaining. I'm ready to see what's gonna happen next. Stay tuned for next week's episode, and thank you for tuning into my channel and clicking on my video. You could have been doing anything else in the world today, but you chose to watch. Mwah, and it's very much appreciated. Remember to have a blessed day, and you gotta do what you gotta do to get to where you're going. I'll see you in the next video. Bye, you guys.